Well, hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Adventures of Mobile Homes podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of adventuresofmobilehomes.com. Thank you so much for joining me here on the 88th episode of the podcast. So today, I want to share with you a portion of another expert video interview that I recently did for members of my support page with my good friend, Adrian Smood, a mobile home investor and an author, where we talk all about the ins and outs of marketing strategies and lead generation for mobile home investors. Now, Adrian shared his story and background as a mobile home investor in podcast episode 74, if you'd like to check it out, which I'll link up here in the show notes. But in this episode today, we focus primarily on Adrian's expertise as a marketer and his experience generating leads for his own mobile home investing business. Now, in the interview, you'll discover and you'll hear about different lead generating strategies that are working right now in the field to help you become a successful mobile home investor. Plus, you'll learn about the different resources out there that you can use to attract motivated sellers to start coming to you. You've also get into Adrian's experience when it comes to marketing strategies, both online and offline in his local market. He shares with you what strategies have worked the best for him versus those that have not worked so well. And Adrian also talks about how to build credibility online as well as locally as a mobile home investor, while also sharing the tools and the resources to do it. Plus, you'll also learn and hear about Adrian's advice on his top marketing strategies for beginning mobile home investors to use on a limited budget. He shares his step-by-step blueprint on what marketing strategies that you can be doing right now to do a deal in 30 days or less. Honestly, we cover so much in this exclusive interview when it comes to marketing strategies and lead generation for mobile home investors. It's packed with so much information and education to help you with your marketing needs to start generating motivated seller leads for your own mobile home investing business. So check it out. Here goes. Hi, y'all. This is Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of adventuresofmobilehomes.com. Thank you so much for joining me here. I have got another expert interview for you as a member and supporter of the support page. Today, I've got a special guest. I'm going to be talking with my good friend, Adrian Smood. He is a real estate investor and author. And actually, Adrian was on the show for the podcast, the public podcast, on episode 74, where he talks all about his experience investing in mobile homes and land. So today, I brought Adrian on to do a special guest interview just for you, because I wanted to talk about an important topic that I get a lot of people asking me about, and that is marketing. I want to talk about marketing for mobile homes, how to market as a mobile home investor, and just focus on that topic for today for our expert interview. So without further ado, welcome, Adrian.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited about this topic. It's one of my favorite topics is marketing.
Oh, great. Thank you for coming on and, talking about all things marketing with everything. Can you kind of, for people who, don't know much, can you tell them a little bit about background information about you and what you do and what you focus on?
I'll give you the real abbreviated version, the longer one's in the other episode. I started out as a really bad tenant, got evicted multiple times for fun parties of spaghetti wrestling, mud wrestling, pudding wrestling, all these things that we don't want as the landlords, but I was a tenant. That led me to buy a house, not a mobile home, but a house, rented out the rooms to my friends that helped me get evicted, and I had divided up my mortgage amongst my friends. Then I said, well, this is really cool. I'm living for free, not with mom and dad at 20 years old. Can I do it again? A few years later, I went and did it again, but that time I was going to lose a little bit every month, only listening to the banks. They said, you can refinance in a few years. A few years, we were in the crash. I had the adjustable rate mortgage. The long story short there, I gave the house up as a short sale. That helped me become very conservative. Luckily, I didn't give up that first house or real estate in general. I bought some more single family houses, but that conservative piece in me is how I eventually found mobile homes because the numbers are so good. Maybe some people think that mobile homes aren't conservative because of the stereotypes against them, but our numbers are so good, and that's what makes a good business to me. That led me to making that my niche. And then the marketing has always been fun for me. I become a personality test almost junkie, and I learned how to use them. And most of them help me understand that I like to promote people. I like to promote. I like to connect people, and that's where a lot of the marketing core is fun for me. And I am not so much a data person. I go research it. I do what works. I try a lot of things, and then eventually I find out, oh, here's the data of why that works. And that's been my marketing journey. I know we're going to dive into more specifics there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, just to kind of, give a background on how you got into real estate investing, mobile home investing for folks out there. And again, if you are watching Adrian for the first time and you didn't look at podcast episode 74, Investing in Mobile Homes and Land, definitely check it out on the public podcast. So let's dive. Let's just get into it, Adrian. Let's talk about marketing strategies for mobile home investors. I mean, was it let's go on, talk about your journey. Was it trial and error? Did you do some reading? And then, kind of apply what you learned? How did it work? How did you learn the best marketing strategies that work for you?
Oh, I'm actually more of an introverted person. So going out and making the first conversation with new people is not in my comfort zone. It's draining for me. So I like marketing that people come to me. Now, I did really well with the signs on the side of the road, the bandit signs. And to touch on those real quick, I did some test marketing. We see two different types really out there: pre-printed ones, and they're more professional. Sometimes they have multiple colors, and they get real high end with logos and stuff. And then we have the handwritten ones. Usually we think of those as the cheap people that are just starting out and don't have any money. Well, that's how I started out doing them. But then I learned those are actually two different markets. And I did some tests. Now, these are small tests, but I put one of my professional ones right next to one of my handwritten ones. And I also did a test with one of my friends' multicolor logos, professional 800 website and everything next to my handwritten ones. Both of those tests gave me the same results. About the same amount of people called, but no one called both. And then as I start looking at the data, all right, well, I found this result, but what is people, the researchers that spend the money and time? Well, we have two different types of people out there. Somebody wants to deal with a person next door, and someone wants to deal with the big professional company. Well, my personality is the person next door. So I have to do that type of marketing. So I'm the handwritten person. We actually would print the handwritten signs. My wife wrote them all up. We scanned that, gave it to the printer, and they printed it. So we made a font that was her handwriting, the whole slants and the sloppiness, everything. That was our professional version of the handwritten. Because when I go there, I'm the person next door. That's my natural feel. If you can see I'm in a bright t-shirt. That's my feel. If you put me in a suit and I had to be the professional, I have this license and this license, I would be uncomfortable and we would never build rapport. And then you wouldn't trust me to buy your property. So there's no right or wrong. I think it's figuring out which one are you and then using that to use your marketing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a local investor. I deal with mom and pop all the time. So it's interesting how you learned, to just basically take the handwriting of your wife and then use the printer, right, to scan it and then get it on your sign instead of like, what a lot of us investors do. We just keep writing and writing and writing and writing again, right?
Yeah.
To save you time. That's very interesting. So did you start out using bandit signs for your motivated seller leads? How does that work?
Man, my very first was I took some St. Patrick's Day signs up after St. Patrick's Day, spray painted the backside, and used it. That's how frugal I was when I started. I didn't even go and buy the signs, and they were much cheaper then. Then I started buying them and handwriting them. And of course, I put a squiggly line on the back so no one could do what I did to the St. Patrick's Day ones. Uh, well, I did bandit signs for 4-ish years. Those were really good for me because they were bringing people to me. Now, we tried letters. I think I'm the only investor that has not bought something on a letter. I have friends that buy them on letters. I have friends that do massive amount of mobile homes with letters.
Hmm.
We failed multiple ways. I know a lot of what we did wrong. We weren't consistent. We tried to do it in house, and we were trying to save a few dollars, and that screwed it up. For one, we couldn't be consistent with a follow up, follow up, follow up. And then some of the data suppliers, when we were doing it, they didn't understand mobile homes. So we got a lot of bad leads. We had to filter, which now I realize is good because if there's extra work there, most people aren't going to do it. So the few of us that will do it, will get all the leads. And I know mailers work because, like I said, I have friends that do them, but they just didn't work great for me. We did some Google paid AdWords. We did Facebook ad. We did all of those. We did at one point. We were doing 6 different things, which I think was too much. But I was testing, and honestly, I wanted the Google to work because what? It's a few clicks and just stuff comes in. It's the easier route. Well, at that time, it was costing me more than I was willing to pay for a lead. Now I wish it was that cheap for a lead. But I did buy with Google, I did buy with Facebook. But when I tracked all of these things, what has worked the best for me?
So there you have it. A portion of an expert video interview that I recently did for members of my support page with my good friend Adrian Smood, a mobile home investor and an author, where we talk all about the ins and the outs of marketing strategies and lead generation for mobile home investors. Now, in the interview, we get into so much more in depth information about different marketing strategies out there that are working right now to help generate leads and find motivated sellers. Adrian shares his experience as a marketer when it comes to finding leads as a mobile home investor. Adrian also shares with you his entire experience throughout his mobile home investing career with the types of marketing strategies that he used in the beginning, just starting out as a new mobile home investor, versus what marketing strategies that he uses right now as an advanced investor. Plus, Adrian shares a free checklist to help mobile home investors market themselves to success, which is so valuable and priceless. I'm telling you, Adrian doesn't hold back when it comes to sharing his own experience marketing to find motivated sellers and generate leads as a mobile home investor. I learned so much right in this interview, even as an advanced mobile home investor myself. Because honestly, let's face it, marketing and lead generation, it's such an important part of being a successful real estate investor. And if you're not out finding motivated sellers and the right types of leads, people who are motivated to sell, well, then you're really going to struggle as a mobile home investor. Now, personally, I get a lot of questions specifically about how to market and find leads as a mobile home investor, which is why I invited Adrian to do the expert interview on the subject. I'm telling you, there's so much information packed right in this interview. And the best part, Adrian has agreed to make himself available to members of my support page with any questions that they might have. In fact, he's made his contact information available to members of my support page in order to help members out with their questions. Now, this expert interview is just one of the perks of becoming a member of my support page. And as a member, you'll get exclusive access to regular training classes like this on different topics around mobile home investing and access to detailed posts where I go into more detail about specific topics within mobile home investing that you won't find anywhere else. I'm telling you, this is exclusive content and behind the scenes footage of my own mobile home investing business. Plus, you'll also get discounts to special events. And here's the kicker: discounts to my existing courses and classes, including a special extra discount to my Dodd-Frank and SAFE Act course, especially for mobile home investors, just for members of my support page. So you definitely don't want to miss out on the special deal. And speaking of discounts, I'm going to be releasing, I know finally, my upcoming coaching program very soon. In fact, I'll have more to say about it, including an entire walkthrough of all the details and what my coaching program is all about in an upcoming podcast episode. So if you're interested in getting more training and coaching from me as a mobile home investor, definitely stay tuned for that. Special extra discounts will be available, especially for members of the support page. Lots of perks and becoming a member, y'all. So stay tuned. But that's not all. I actually just added a new private podcast as a perk of becoming a member. Now, this private podcast is only available to members of the support page, where I go over the behind the scenes on my own mobile home investing business, including other projects that I'm working on. In fact, I'm going to be putting together a new episode of the private podcast very soon, where I talk about a recent experience on a legal matter with a tenant. Now, I won't get into all the details here, but I will say I was on the phone talking to attorneys for 2 weeks straight, which did cause a lot of stress. Though I did learn a lot in the process while seeking out attorneys and getting their counsel on the phone. So if you'd like to be in the loop on things with my own mobile home investing business, definitely check out the private podcast, which I'll link up here right in the show notes. Honestly, the membership, it's a way for you to get ongoing training as a mobile home investor, learn the ins and the outs of what exactly I'm doing right now to make money as a mobile home investor, and also get discounts to upcoming classes and trainings, including my new coaching program coming out very soon, especially for mobile home investors. And most importantly, staying in contact with me directly and other members through the Discord community, which is yet another perk of being a member of the support page. And let me tell you, we've got a lot of interesting conversations and topics that we're talking about right in the Discord community. It's so great to see what everyone's been up to with their own mobile home investing business, including their recent deals and also answering any questions that members might have. It's been great getting to know all the members in the Discord community, which you'll have access to me directly as a member. Sign up as a member today. Go to www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/support for more information on how you can support me and become a member, including all the perks that you'll get that I just mentioned. And if you're already a member on my support page, be sure to check out this video expert interview and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts and also answer any questions that you might have. Now, speaking of the support page, I just want to give some shout outs to some recent supporters. So here we go. Special thanks to Philip, who just became a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Philip. I really hope that you get a lot out of it. Special thanks to Leah, who also just became a member. Now, Leah writes, I'm excited to find a community of other mobile home investors. So great to hear, Leah. Thank you so much for becoming a member and for your support. I'm really looking forward to seeing you right in the Discord community, and feel free to ask me any questions and share your experience there. Thank you so much for your support. And stay tuned, as I've got more expert interviews lined up in the future. Exciting stuff all. And just in case you missed it, I did do a video walkthrough of the support page and what it's all about. You can find it on episode 52 of the podcast, where I celebrate the 2-year anniversary of the show, what it means, and my plans going forward. You can find it at www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/52. And if you'd like to check out this video expert interview with my really good friend, Adrian Smood, a mobile home investor and an author, where we talk all about marketing strategies and lead generation for mobile home investors, you can check it out in the show notes, where I provide more information and details. Go to www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/88. Again, www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/88. Well, that's about it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you've enjoyed the podcast so far, please be sure to share it with family and friends. And be sure to follow me and subscribe. That's about it for now. Until next time, this is Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of the Adventures of Mobile Homes podcast, signing off. Thanks for tuning in.